Hey guys, Tachu22 here, and welcome to SmackDown. And this show is brought to you by MuchGames.ca, and, well, our first match is for the Television Championship, as I call it. And to clarify, the Television Championship can only be defended amongst real-life wrestlers, or in-game wrestlers, I should say, excuse me. But otherwise, we have ourselves a championship scramble for said title. And we have the champion in the middle, Epico. And then the challengers from left to right, Cody Rhodes, the Great Khali, Primo, and JBL. So, we start with two guys. We'll find out who those two men are in just a moment. I almost forgot to set some things, so hold on a second. Yeah, that's good, okay. I just wanted to make sure that the rules were set. Alright, well, with that in mind, let's begin. Well, it looks like, Primo and the Great Khali are going to start. So you have this big giant in the Great Khali. I would have to think he'd be the favorite at this point in the match, but I don't know. I mean, anything can happen here. And a takedown by Primo. I'm surprised he was able to take down the big guy. Excuse me. Didn't mean to do that, but... Oh, I'm surprised he was able to pick up the Great Khali and do that. And a Hurricane Rana onto the Great Khali, and the Great Khali is so big that he really took a spill. I mean, I'm surprised Primo's holding his own, but a headbutt to the shoulder. A kick and a punch right to the left arm of Primo. A whip into the ropes. And an arm smash onto the Great Khali. An arm wringer flip. Ooh, and a huge leg drop, especially the size of the Great Khali. I mean, that has to really hurt. I can only imagine how much that would hurt me. But you know what? I'm glad I'm not in this, for one. Well, here comes the champion. Meanwhile, his cousin, Primo, has a submission on the Great Khali. But he breaks it up to save the title for himself, obviously. So yeah, you have both cousins, both members of the Assassins in there. I mean, I would have to think that they would team up against the Great Khali, but Primo is the champion, and look at the size of the Great Khali. Look at this. Wow! Just pure power on the part of the Great Khali. And meanwhile, Epico has something that could actually do some damage onto the Great Khali, and it's those big steps. I mean, oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention the rules. 5 men will be in this match. 2 men start, and then every 2 minutes, another man comes out. And the champion is currently Epico, and he entered 3rd in this match. But whoever gets a pinfall over anybody, in this case, the Great Khali, well, had he got the 3 count, he would have taken over as champion. And whoever is in possession of the championship at the end of the time limit becomes the official champion. Wow, what a hit and what a miss by Primo. Meanwhile, the Great Khali is going to take down that announce table. And he's got a knee right to the a surfboard stretch. And what is Epico doing? Meanwhile, here comes JBL. So we have JBL entering the matchup. Ooh, and a leg drop on the Great Khali. A DDT on, I think that it was Primo. But Primo sends JBL on the opposite side of the barricade. An elbow, and then a leg drop from Primo. Okay, so that's Epico fighting JBL. Elbow from JBL to Epico. Wait, pinfall on the outside. Oh, but the Great Khali kicked out. Then a bull rush from the Great Khali onto Primo. I always easily get Primo and Epico confused because they kind of do look similar, but wow, what that was an amazing Hurricane Rana onto the floor, onto the Great Khali. And then a huge choke onto Primo from the Great Khali. And the Great Khali, what's he get? Wow! That was an amazing dive onto the Great Khali by Primo. And we're almost approaching the appearance of the 5th competitor. Meanwhile, the Great Khali has a submission and referee. What the hell are you doing, ref? And the Great Khali has possession of the championship. And here comes Cody Rhodes. We last saw him on the main event of last show. And meanwhile, the Great Khali has the vice grip on Primo, but he has the championship, so he doesn't need to pin him. All he has to do is make sure no one gets a pin on someone else, or that nobody pins him. Ooh, and a backstabber onto the Great Khali. Wait a minute. Pinfall. No, broken up by Cody Rhodes. Although I think if you're Cody Rhodes, you much rather let Primo have the championship than have the Great Khali hold on to it. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I guess it doesn't matter really. An arm drag onto the Great Khali by JBL. A back elbow onto Epico from JBL. An elbow to the back of the neck of Primo. Then a kick to the back of Primo. But Primo counters onto the Great Khali. So yeah, right now Great Khali has it. All he has to do is hold on to the title for... Wow! Look at the strength of Primo. I'm surprised he was able to pick up the Great Khali and slam him. Like, what is he on? And a moonsault that missed. Actually, no, that was a diving senton, but even still, I mean, that missed. Wait, an armbar, but broken up by JBL. And now JBL and Primo gonna double team the Great Khali, but the Great Khali counters with a double suplex of his own. One, no, kick out by Epico. And a face buster onto the Great Khali. 1, 2. Oh, almost had the title, did JBL. But we got about a minute and a half left to go. Then a face buster to JBL. a camel clutch, but broken up by Cody Rhodes. Then a DDT on to JBL. Let me just sit up straight here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Wow, a backbreaker onto the Great Khali. I don't know how guys are able to do such things to Great Khali. It's amazing though. A back suplex onto, I'm not sure if that was Primo or Epico. Wait a minute, pinfall from JBL, but the referee was out of position and he kicked out anyway. We got about 15 seconds left. All 5 men are in the ring again. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. The Great Khali is the new champion. So congratulations to the Great Khali, as he is now the new television champion. And I will say, who is going to stop him? Who is going to stop the Great Khali? Well, I will say this. India is celebrating in the streets as the Great Khali has brought him another championship to India. But stay tuned for more matches. They'll be coming up right after this.